Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the Kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.
What's up, fight fans? Today we're joined by Jennifer Chanthavong. She has a fight coming up at XKO 55 on February 18th against Amber Medina. Thank you for coming in. How are you feeling right now leading up to the fight?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling healthy. I'm excited. It's been a while, so I'm ready to get back in.
Yeah, I think the black tie event was that your last outing?
Yes.
At XKO? Oh, that was a good fight. That was a really good fight. So I have to ask, how long have you been training and what brought you into Muay Thai?
What brought me into training was I was being at 5'1.5". I used to weigh 184 pounds a couple years back. I just got over a bad breakup, and then the next day I had to think about, hey, what am I gonna do? I'm overweight. I just don't feel good about myself. So I found, VFit martial arts, and lost the weight, but I was not expecting to be a fighter, but eventually transitioned to his fitness kickboxing class, and then fighting.
Yeah, so obviously you've made a lot of physical and I'm sure spiritual transformations. What do you think sparked that? Was it like when you started picking it up, everything just clicked and it just felt right? It just felt natural?
Yeah, it does actually, and just doing it so often, I fell in love with it. It was just something that I didn't expect, but it happened. So
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So where do you train and what do you think your team brings to the table that's special to them?
Well, I train out of Arlington, Green Oaks, and Arkansas, and Texas. Sorry. So Arlington, Texas. I train out of Arlington, Texas. And when it comes to what the team brings, they bring in a lot of personality, a lot of motivation, a lot of, they push you because they really care, and you do the same. So, yeah.
So do you work right now? Do you have a job that you or side hustles that you take care of while you're advancing your Muay Thai career?
Yeah, I actually work for Easy Health. I am a medical sales rep, just doing Medicare and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Nice, nice. So I understand that you've already won a title. I could not find it on the typology page, unfortunately, but can you expand on that title and what getting that meant to you?
It felt great. I believe it was the Fury kickboxing that I won, and it was it felt great. It's just one of those things where it's like, wow, I wasn't expecting it, but I trained really hard. So it's a matter of trusting the process and just making sure your mind is right, because it's a lot of pressure. You're like, I want to win, I want to make sure I'm doing things right, but when you're on the ring, it's, I would say, all about instinct too, so
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that was like one of the first steps to realizing these newfound dreams of yours, like, wow, this is really happening. Like, I earned a title, I can be a champion, I'm just going to replicate this on higher and higher levels as I go. So yeah, that's great. It's unfortunate I couldn't find it on the topology page. I was doing my research, and I was going to bring up your transformation as well. So I'm glad you put that in there in the beginning. So when you're in there, do you view this more as a sport and this is a competition, or are you one of those people that has to put themselves in the mentality of this is war and this opponent is my enemy? Like what kind of mindset do you have to put yourself into to go in there and fight?
a little bit of both, actually. You want to have fun and stuff like that, but when it comes to also stepping in, you're like, this person wants to hurt you. So it's a matter of, I would say, survival at this point, because they want to hurt you as bad as you want to hurt them, because they're charging at you or something like that. So they have the same mentality when they step in the ring, so I have to do the same.
And
I'm looking out for my health. So
Yeah, right. And I've seen what those Muay Thai people can do. So that's scary. So we have a saying here at Enter the Kumite, you don't play fight. Like, remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. What are your thoughts on that? Would you agree with that? Do you view MMA and Muay Thai as a sport, or do you see it as something more than that?
it's a sport, but I do see it as something more than that because it's to me it's more about um your lifestyle. It's a lifestyle thing, you know. It's a mentally thing. It's something that you got to constantly condition yourself and constantly tell yourself, even if you're not motivated, just do it, you know. It's about self-discipline 100%. So
Yeah, and you're constantly shaping yourself into a warrior, constantly conditioning that warrior mentality and that warrior physique. Was there anyone specifically that inspired you to become a fighter? Was there someone you saw as a young woman and you're like, I can do that, or I want to do that?
I would say like the old movies I watched with like Jet Li, Jackie Chan,
Tony
more
Jaa,
so,
maybe?
yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, I used to love watching those movies because after, you know, how I mentioned before, I was going through a bad breakup. I was like, you know, what did I want to do? Like, what did I really want to put my anger out on or whatever? Because I didn't want to just lash out emotionally, mentally. Because, you know, at that time I was young and I had, I guess you can say, identity crisis. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just had to really step back, reflect, and then I started watching like the old movies that made me feel great. One of the best movies I've watched was Jet Li Unleashed, you know, where he was trapped
Mm,
and eventually like unleashed everything, you know, and he wasn't a complete monster or anything. It's more of like him rediscovering himself, if that makes sense. So
yeah, yeah.
after being
So
trapped for years.
so maybe it almost feels like a form of self-expression. What
Mhm.
would you say? I like it. I like it. So I like to ask in all of my interviews this one particular question because I feel like it answers a lot of questions without having to ask too many. So ultimately, why fighting? Why'd you choose a path that really challenges the limits of your spirit and your self-confidence? Like what was it about it that made you want to go down such a trying path?
Well, for one, well, I would say because no one else has really done it. And especially in my family and stuff like that. So I wanted to do something. Like I said, I reflected. I was like, you know, I need to do something that releases a lot of anger or whatever, but do something that, you know, not many people. But yeah, a lot of challenging aspects that happened in my early life too, where it was a very male dominant culture. And
Mm.
what I witnessed too is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I want to do something that many people don't do in my culture, you know, especially women. So,
Yeah, break boundaries and
mhm.
push new frontiers.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you are kind of a pioneer in that way. Um, so a lot of people believe that someone's ancestry can influence their determination and skill sets. Do you think there's any truth to that? And do you think your ancestry has equipped you with any specific attributes that help make you the warrior you are today?
Yes, definitely. It's very strict. And, you know, when it comes to something very strict, you want to kind of break the rules. Well, I broke in a lot of rules. A little rebel. Oh my God. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of like an outlaw. Yeah. So I gotta ask, like, where are you going? Where do you see yourself being in 5 to 10 years? And if you could choose any, combat sports promotion to be a part of, what would it be?
I mean, in the future, maybe one champion. And also, I would like to travel and teach, you know, women all over the world who are having lots of trouble, you know, expressing themselves, has a lot of anger and a lot of emotions within that they weren't able to express, or some self-defense classes in the future, you know, and
Hmm.
also help my coach run his gym. Yeah, so that's where I see myself a lot in the future too. So
No, I like that, especially, traveling to some of these people who, culturally don't have some of the same opportunities, and, kind of giving them that outlet to, maybe find their form of self-expression. And, like the warriors in all of us, we all have that in there, and some people really thrive in those conditions. And so I really like that answer. Yeah. And ONE FC, and they're doing a lot of things right, because they have MMA and they have their Muay Thai. So they're not really excluding any people that, let's face it, there's a lot of people who don't like to watch grappling and stuff like that. And they just want to see people, stand, bang, good footwork, head movement, clinch work. And ONE FC, they're doing this thing on YouTube now where they'll put up little clips and they'll have a little clickbaity headline, and they're getting just so many eyes on it now. So, I mean, I think ONE FC would be a great path for you to go down. When their 115-pound division is so stacked too.
I've seen it, but it gets like when I watch it, I get excited. I'm like, oh my God, whoa.
Yeah. No, it's ONE FC is doing a lot of things right. I'm definitely into ONE FC now, and I was not into ONE FC like 2 years ago. So do you want to make any shout outs, or do you have anything you'd like to say to the people tuning in to watch your fight?
Yeah, I want to shout out to all my sponsors. I got the Hernandez family by my side, the Rodriguez family, Nolan's Market, VFit Martial Arts, and also a restaurant in Alaska called Sow Loud. And I want to make a shout out to everyone in my fight team. My coaches are with me 100%. Yeah. So
awesome. Well, hey, it was nice getting to sit down and talk with you and learn more about you. I'm definitely excited about this fight coming up. We'll be there. We're going to be cage side, taking pictures. We're going to be taking 3 fights that are just the most exciting and doing like a post-fight breakdown and analysis to really like highlight and accentuate the, all of the high level chess things that you guys do in there that most people don't see on the surface. Jennifer Chanthavong, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss out. She's got a fight coming up against Amber Medina on February 18th at XKO 55. Thank you for everyone for entering the Kumite with us here today. Remember, guys, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.
thank you so much.